Hi, welcome to another video here on the Mary's World channel. And for today's video, I wanted to bring a very special book for me. It's actually the Mariah Carey's book, The Meaning of Mariah Carey. It's actually one of my favorite books ever in life. Mariah Carey is not only a phenomenal singer, she is a fantastic lyricist. I mean, her lyrics are out of this world. Hashtag incessantly. If you know, you know. Mariah is someone I look up to as an artist. She always talks about magic and dreams and having that special factor in your life that makes you get up in the morning, conquer the world, and just have a little bit of spice to your life. And I'm very drawn to people that think like that. And reading her book just made me appreciate her and respect her as an artist and as a person even more. Her trajectory is absolutely brilliant. She's been through an incredible amount of challenges, but more so, she has surpassed it all. She kept going. And that's one of the biggest things about her, is that she absolutely kept going. And I think we can take many, many lessons from this book precisely. There are many things I would like to talk about in this book, but I am just going to focus on 3 of them. And the first is people's projections onto your life. All right. She has a whole chapter dedicated to this, and I thought it was so interesting to bring it here on the channel and while analyzing the book, because there are so many elements that as a society, as people, as women, we can relate to her story, and specifically about this point of people projecting their fear onto us. It's so fascinating how it's so easy for people to put all of their unfulfilled dreams, unfulfilled desires, and think that we are also to go through the same thing, that we cannot have our own dreams and desires and actually fulfill them. I think we have to be incredibly careful of people's intentions and their projections onto our lives. So I'm just going to read to you a little bit about this, because I think we all can take some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful lessons from this. So she says, I remember that once, one of the most popular jocks in the school asked me what I was doing after graduation. I usually didn't tell any of the kids around about my dreams, but in this case I did. I told him I was going to be a singer and songwriter. His response was, yeah, right. You'll be working at Hojo's in 5 years. Hojo's was short of Howard Johnson's, the chain of hotels and restaurants that was still widely popular then. The degradation was totally intended. As it turns out, in less than 3 years, in a simple black dress, with a head full of curls and a stomach full of, yes, butterflies, I walked through a packed stadium among the defeating buzz of tens of thousands of voices. A loud, clear voice cut through the cacophony. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Columbia recording artist Mariah Carey for the singing of America the Beautiful. How incredible is that? I think that artists have this thing where they live in kind of their own world and they know exactly what and who they are. And so when people try and tell them otherwise, it's like, oh, I'm going to show you, like, now I'm going to have to prove you wrong. And Mariah, of course, is an example, a fantastic example of this. And I think we can take this to our own lives as well. How many times have people tried to belittle us or underestimate us, take us for granted, and then we prove them wrong, because we all have that power. We all can do hard things and prove people wrong and, show them what we are all about. Show them what we got, right? I love that. I love that about Mariah. Now, another very important factor about this book was a series of romantic relationships Mariah had with several partners, and she describes a very interesting one, a very controlling relationship she had with an ex-husband of hers. I will not mention names, but I thought it was very important what she did, because when you are looked upon as an idol to other people's perspective, let's say, you are held to almost this, like, I don't know, idol type of image. And I think what she did here was she just humanized herself. She just made people understand that she was a human being after all. She made mistakes. She went through things romantically as well, but she learned from them. And I believe that her goal with depicting this very controlling relationship was then to show people that also Mariah Carey can go through some tough things romantically. It can happen to all of us, but it's important that we learn and we know how to leave those relationships, that we are susceptible to being disrespected, that it happens absolutely, but it's then up to us to find the strength to leave these kinds of dynamics. I will read a little bit for you guys because I think it's super important. We can, again, hear from Mariah herself. I was living my dream, but couldn't leave my house. Lonely and trapped, I was held captive in that relationship. Captivity and control come in many forms, but the goal is always the same: to break down the captive's will, to kill any notion of self-worth, and erase the person's memory of their own soul. I'm still not sure of the toll it has taken on me, how much of me was permanently destroyed or arrested. Perhaps, among other things, my ability to completely trust people or to fully rest. But thankfully, I smuggled myself out bit by bit through the lyrics of my songs. I sang some of what I couldn't say. Though I do try, I cannot forget. Sometimes, without warning, I am haunted by a nightmare or flashes of suffocating. Sometimes I still feel the heaviness. Sometimes I have no air. I think, especially when she says, perhaps among other things, my ability to completely trust people or to fully rest. Oof, that was a heavy one. I think many things, many people can relate to what she's saying, and I know I can relate to that as well. Maybe not to this extent, but there are people who can manipulate us, lie to us, deceive us, and make us believe we are not to be ourselves. And then, unfortunately, if we do not take care of those traumas and heal those wounds, we can then go to the next relationship and project all of this. We can perhaps not fully rest, or unfortunately not trusting people fully, which is just, trust issues are just terrible in my opinion. And finally, I wanted to end the book review with the epilogue. I loved this epilogue because to me it just symbolized the book perfectly. Mariah is a dreamer. She is a positive strength beyond measure. She is magic. She is all I want for Christmas: lights, action, softness, princess treatment. I mean, you know Mariah. And what I most got from this book is that you could never stop dreaming. Never stop dreaming, no matter who says what, no matter what the voice in your head says. You keep on dreaming, you keep on trying, you keep on going. And so I want to read the epilogue for you guys because I think it's one of the most special moments in the book. Of course, it's the final moment in the book, so it makes sense. I think the way she writes, like, it will stick with you. In the middle of a violent storm, very young, I was given a glimpse of God's vision for me. As a child, awakened to my dream, I believed with my entire being in what I was meant to do and what I was meant to be, long before anyone else did. And holding on to that belief required everything I had. Along the way, I was given signs of hope, but mostly I faced chaos and calamity, heartbreaks and brutal betrayals to derail me. Some almost killed me, or worse, almost killed my spirit. The toughest truth was that the people I loved the most hurt me the worst. The ones closest to me were the ones who came closest to stripping me of my dreams. If I have learned anything in this life worth sharing, it is protect your dreams. Even in the face of disadvantages and dysfunction, you can't let anybody define, control, or take away your vision of your life. Not your mother, brother, sister, father, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, fake friend, boss, bully, bigot, manager, partner, assistant, critic, cousin, uncle, auntie, classmate, mogul, predator, influencer, president, false preacher, fake teacher, co-worker, frenemy with a phone, coward with a camera, or chicken with a keyboard. In the end, and in the beginning, it's all about faith for me. I can't define it, but it has defined me. Ladies and gentlemen, the meaning of Mariah Carey. What a fantastic epilogue was that. I think oftentimes we don't hear for the people who made it what took them to make it. And in this book, I just realized Mariah went through hell and back. And she realized that the people closest to her were the people that hurt her the most. But that didn't mean that her vision for her life was wrong or that she should stop in any way, shape, or form. And anytime I'm feeling doubtful about my life, I read these passages, I read these quotes, and I immediately feel better. I immediately feel like I am completely aligned with what I'm supposed to do. To me, that's the gift that this book has given me, and I hope that it gives you in this video. Thank you so much for watching. It's fantastic to be back, and it's fantastic to tell you all about the meaning of Mariah Carey.